So I became the chief prosecutor for the biggest murder trial in human history. I convicted 22 top leaders of murdering over 1 million Jews in cold blood. They did the same for gypsies. And I argued for a rule of law which would protect all of humanity. When the war broke out, I was still a student at the Harvard Law School. I got a scholarship for my exam on criminal law. I was interested in crime prevention. When the war was over, I dedicated myself to trying to create a more humane world. I was being recruited by the Army to go back to help after the war with Army War Commission trials against the leaders and the concentration camp guards who were liberated by the American forces. While I was still at the Pentagon, I was approached by then Colonel, later General Telford Taylor, and he wanted to consider hiring me to go back with him to follow up on Jackson's International Military Tribunal case with a number of 12 other trials, which would give a broader picture of how the German nation would allow such crimes to be committed. And his first assignment for me was to collect the evidence for the 12 trials, because I had experienced that during the war. How do you collect evidence in the middle of a battle? And when I came upon the reports of the Einsatzgruppen, these special murder squads, which proved black and white daily reports from the front, top secret, to the command headquarters in Berlin, listing how many Jews they had killed in which town, who was the commanding officer, where it was located. This was a treasure trove. And I grabbed a sample. I flew down from Berlin, where I had the office, to Nuremberg, and I said, we have to put it on a new trial. He said, we can't, because the Pentagon has already closed the budget on this, and all the lawyers are assigned. We can't do it. I said, we cannot let these mass murderers go free. I was very sober about the trial. I recognized, it's often ignored, war makes murderers out of otherwise decent people. My lead defendant, Dr. Otto Ohlendorf, General of the SS, father of 5 children, murdered, under his direct command, at least 90,000 Jews. Some quibbling about whether the men bragged about the body count. He was fairly honest. He explained that he did it not only because it was superior orders, but because Hitler knew that the Russians were planning to attack Germany, and therefore it would be a preemptive self-defense action if they were to prepare for that, and that meant you had to kill all potential enemies of Germany. And he put all the Jews in that category. And that was his explanation. That's an explanation which we hear from armies elsewhere in the world still today. And it takes a great deal of thinking and courage to say no more. War is obsolete. It's not a way that human beings can behave toward any other human beings. If you have differences, let it be decided in a court of law. And that's what Cardozo Law School and other law schools should be doing. And I hope they are doing it. Cardozo had a particular place in my heart, frankly. And my law partner, Telford Taylor, whom I admired very much, was an excellent lawyer, should have been on the Supreme Court as well. He came to Cardozo after he left Columbia and after the Nuremberg trials were over. And so that was a warm spot in my heart. And all of those things brought together my own determination to use this great Jewish school to be a place where I could make whatever donations I had. My advice to lawyers who are interested in doing the sort of work you're doing is you have to think outside the box. You cannot accept the traditional thing. Challenge everything. And then you have to have fire in the belly. You must be determined and just keep on going no matter what. And I sum it up with law, not war, and never give up.